I had a comment just last night on one of my new Avoidant Man videos that just went viral. Someone popped in and said, "Hey, I think my boyfriend and I might both be avoidant. We have the silent treatment, and it can go on for anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks, where we give each other the silent treatment. 6 or 12 weeks, like,
I
okay,
believe it.
yeah,
I
that's
believe
avoidant."
it. I have the rare privilege, I think, of having a couple of friends, male and female, who seem to be exhibiting avoidant tendencies. They are in the barest of situationships, and they really seem perfectly content to just kind of hook up once every 2 or 3 months and not really connect
Are
between
they
that. And I was like,
exclusive though?
wow, they're not exclusive.
Got it.
It's
So it's
like,
just like one of those things that really runs by when it runs by.
totally. But it's weird, like when you know, deep intimacy is very terrifying for both of them. So having somebody that they can just kind of touch base with every now and then, it weirdly seems to be, I don't want to say it's working for them, but it's comfortable. And that's so strange for me to observe. But I know that there'll be anxious folks that try to get in relationships with people like that. And it's like, if that's the kind of relationship they're looking for, you might be better served looking elsewhere,
100%. 100%.
So we today in an earlier podcast touched on this very interesting question, and I think it took us like an hour to answer it. But
Of yelling and stuff.
I
Yeah,
know it was really fun.
It was a
It was really
hot
fun.
episode.
For context, I am, as Adam has labeled me, a recovering avoidant. Apparently, I've been working with Adam for almost 2.5 years. And, really, I came in a pretty bad spot. I was going through a divorce. I was going through pretty serious changes in life. And we've been working with Adam together. In fact, here's a little story. I actually work with content creators. So I grow content creators. I worked with some big names. And when Adam came to counsel me, and then I said, "How much do I owe you, Adam?" And he goes, "I don't know." I just go, "Excuse me?" He goes, "I don't know how to charge people." And I said, "Look, I will start an agency specifically to work with you 6 months early." I pulled the string on that 6 months early so we can do this specifically at scale and work with content creators who can actually also support and spread this message. So I love this conversation. 2.5 years later, we've been working with Adam. I went through the divorce thing. I've healed this relationship I had with my daughter. We really kind of have this now good thing going on. We built up great friendship. And now he pulls in the middle of a podcast with me this whole, "Hey, you're avoidant." And go, wow.
You don't ever tell an avoidant person that they're avoidant.
I'm glad we finally
You
reached
really,
that
yeah,
stage.
that's trouble.
I'm
unless
finally glad.
it's years in.
And you know what? I let it sink in. I've accepted this. We've turned this into a topic of conversation, probably even a theme for this season of the podcast. And the reason I even got into this was because we were discussing, how does an avoidant man show love? Like, how does an avoidant man demonstrate love? Because what love means to you and what love means to me are probably two very different things. So what do you think?
Yeah.
As a person hailing from like the other end of the spectrum, what does that even look like to you when somebody like me shows somebody like you love?
Well, at the risk of getting too philosophical, I wonder if love doesn't look and feel different for absolutely everybody. And so for that reason, it's very important that if we love someone, we have a conversation with them specifically about what it feels like for them. I have noticed, this is completely anecdotal, please don't take this as science, but I have noticed that the avoidant folks that I know seem to put a lot of stock in actions that show love. I'm not sure why that is, but for them, words seem difficult and they seem cheap. So I don't see a lot of avoidant folks. They'll be very hesitant to say "I love you." They'll be very hesitant to label the relationship. But from my experience, an avoidant in love will still show up for you. They'll put some gas in your car. They'll be there talking when it feels safe to talk. So that's what I've noticed. I think for my own partner, when he was leaning avoidant, for him, love looked like showing up. Love looked like taking care of somebody and noticing what they need. for me, especially deep within my anxious patterns, love was words like I'm not going to leave you, like I love you, I care about you. And I hate to get too love languagey with it, but it does seem like the anxious folks do tend more toward very overt ways of showing that they love, and verbal reassurance and confirmation that somebody's there. And for the avoidance, it really seemed more like show, don't tell, which is lovely. I think it's frustrating for us anxious folks, but I do think there's something kind of lovely in the idea that talk is cheap, and actually being there and doing things is more of a way to show love.
If you like this clip, I know you're going to enjoy the full episode. You can watch it right here.